I've been wanting to get into VR for my sim racing, and I did tons of reading on reviews of different headsets and everything. And really, it came down to two that were kind of getting the tops of the review. So the first one is the Samsung Odyssey Plus. Reason why I think it gets really good reviews is it's fairly light, it has a fairly good field of view, and it's extremely cheap. The other one is the Pimax. Now this is the Pimax 5K, there's also the 8K. I got the 5K because I got a good deal on it used. And I bought both because I wasn't sure which one I would like more, and then I thought I'd just sell the one that I ended up not liking. So I just want to do a quick comparison of the two. And if you want to see like videos of what they look like and all that, you can look it up on other videos. But to be quite honest, I looked at so many videos of people's like, through the lens and stuff like that. And then you actually try VR. And to me, it's actually nothing like what the videos actually depict. You really just need to try it to really determine which looks best to you. So that's one big thing is that I found out you can just watch tons of stuff, but really just reading people's reviews and how people describe their experience, and then kind of basing your decision on that is usually the best thing. So, okay, so a few things to just talk about. First, price. Okay, the Samsung obviously beats out the Pimax handedly on that. I got this thing used for like $300 Canadian, comes with controllers, comes with headphones built in. Image quality was really great. So for the price, you can't really beat it. Now the Pimax cost more for just the headset. Okay, there's no built-in headphones, there's no controllers. If you want controllers or anything like that, then you need to get some base stations for like the Vive or the Index. You need some controllers for the Vive or the Index, all that. So it all costs more. So the price just kind of keeps on adding up. Okay, so price-wise, Samsung handedly beats it. Now, image quality. Okay, the image quality, the Pimax, I got to get pretty good image out of it, but to be honest, it took me forever. Okay, there's extra settings, there's using PyTool, which is their own software. It really took me a long time to figure out how to get it all adjusted so I got the best image possible. And when I first tried it, it was so disappointing. I even had my dad try it, and he said, the next day I had done a ton of adjustments. He tried it again, he thought, oh, this is way better. And he even told me I didn't want to say anything yesterday, but I was actually pretty surprised how bad it was. So, doing the settings and adjustments makes a huge difference, but it takes a long time to get it all working perfectly. Now, the Samsung, I will say that I plugged this one in after getting the Pimax adjusted. So my Steam VR stuff was all adjusted and everything. But the Samsung definitely was a much easier to get set up for a really good image, okay? So I would say for ease of use, I would say that the Samsung was easier, but then also for just the overall image quality, the Samsung seems a little bit better. Now, that said, again, I was able to get the Pimax to a point where the image quality, I think, is pretty much as good as the Samsung. Maybe not as, the colors aren't as vibrant, but it's pretty good, okay? So really, image quality, I would say they're kind of the same, but the ease of use, the Samsung is much easier to use. Okay, now what about comfort? Now, the Samsung, I'm sure if you've looked at reviews, a lot of people say they're really uncomfortable. And I do find it fairly uncomfortable at the front of the forehead. A lot of people get the straps that go across to help with the top, to help the pressure off the forehead, which I could see making a huge difference. So comfort-wise, the Samsung isn't the most comfortable, but I think it really depends on your head size. I have a very large head, so I had to do a modification on the rear of it to get it to fit anywhere where I could actually wear it. But it's still fairly tight on me. The Pimax, I find, is actually very comfortable. Even though they're so big, they're very light. So I find it actually pretty comfortable. So I would say that the Pimax is definitely more comfortable than the Samsung. Now, let me just think, what else is there? Okay, cables. There's more connections because you have to have an actual power outlet for the Pimax. The Samsung is just plugged in USB and HDMI. The Pimax plugs in with DisplayPort. Okay, so what else is there really? So which one am I deciding to keep? Okay, so that's probably the big question. Which one am I going to keep? The Samsung seems like the better choice because it's cheaper. It comes with controllers so I can do other games. The image quality, I'd say, is just a little bit better. It has built-in headphones. By the way, the Pimax, you have a headphone jack, so you can just use earbuds. And what was I gonna say? So which one am I going to keep? That's probably the big question. So the Samsung is cheaper. It has I would say just a slightly better image quality, and it has some built-in headphones. Okay, the Pimax doesn't have built-in headphones, but you can connect things like earbuds. So you'd think that the Samsung is probably the overall choice. But I'm actually going to keep the Pimax. And the reason why, the big reason why, is because of the field of view. The field of view on the Pimax, which is what they're known for, is huge. Okay, the field of view is huge. The Samsung is considered to have very good field of view. And after using the Pimax for 6 hours of racing, I put on the Samsung and it's just like tunnel vision. It just seems so weird once you've tried the larger field of view of Pimax. If you have never tried VR and you don't have a Pimax, you would probably try the Samsung and think this is great. Okay, the field of view is great. So, if you're really going for one or the other and you only have the Samsung available, we'll get the Samsung. But the Pimax, the field of view just makes the immersion so much better, in my opinion. Another reason also is because the sweet spot, okay, the sweet spot mean like where it's not blurry, okay, and the image quality is really good. The sweet spot on the Pimax is huge. I find that you can move the headset around quite a bit and you don't lose the sweet spot. With the Samsung, if you move it just a little bit, I find that you're out of the sweet spot and then you have to do readjustments. So for those two big reasons, I'm going to keep the Pimax. When it comes to the head strap, you can actually get the HTC Vive, the deluxe audio strap. And you can get 3D printed clips and stuff on this to fit that. So I'm going to do that just to make it so it has the built-in headphones and just a little bit more comfortable. I'm going to get some Vive base stations and either the Vive or Index controllers. So all of that's going to cost more money. So really the Pimax is going to end up costing probably more than double what the Samsung costs. Okay, so to get the Pimax to the point where I can use controllers, I can play other VR games, and I have the deluxe audio strap with the built-in headphones, all that kind of stuff, it's going to end up costing definitely more than double what the Samsung is. So if money is a big factor, then I would just get the Samsung. Okay, the Samsung is great. But if you want full immersion with the best experience possible, I would get the Pimax. All right. And the reason being is for the field of view. That's just the big selling point to me. It's worth it to me. If I'm investing money in a new graphics card, I'm investing money in a computer and all that kind of stuff, then I might as well get the best thing possible. So I'm going to keep the Pimax because of the field of view, because of the bigger sweet spot, and the image quality is pretty good, okay? And once you're in a race, you're not looking at the screen door effect. You're not looking at individual pixels and going, oh, it's not so crisp. When you're immersed in a racing game, you're not thinking about that stuff, but having that wider field of view definitely makes a big difference. Okay, so that's my kind of take on these two headsets, my reasons why, and this is my first real dive into VR, so this is, I don't have experience trying every VR headset out there, but looking at these two, which are pretty much the highly recommended ones for simulations, I'm going to keep the Pimax for the reasons I stated. So I hope that makes sense. I hope that you kind of took something away from this video. And if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments.